Hello, my soul family. Welcome to the Goddess Flame Tarot. So today we are here to see the, you know, love oracle messages from your divine feminine, divine masculine. So I have decided to do masculine's channel messages on daily basis to give you insights in terms of what's happening in their field, because I know that from now until the next eclipse next year, the next last solar eclipse of next year, which is around September, like August to September 2026, is a very crucial time for all the twin flames who have had this final like they're heading towards the final union, and they're working towards it. And hence, it's, I think it's very important for me to pick up some love oracle messages, and let's see what we have. So I've been shuffling, and the energy that I'm picking up is the masculine was trying to connect with you. They were trying to tiptoe and see what is your stance on all that's happening. Are you still in your old energies? That was a test that was given to you. If you have reason to your higher vibrations, they have now recognized that your standards have changed, and they're very proud of what you have become. So don't take that for granted. Right now what has happened is whatever the heart recognition that has happened. So feminines, you need to understand that very clearly. Obviously, like how once the thought comes in your head and now you start working towards it in your 3D, so that anchoring of their choice that it is you that they want has happened. It is all about how do they get into the fruition in the 3D world. So it is going to take some time. Have some patience. It is at least going to need, like, until the karmic entanglements all come into stable situation, it's going to take at least another 8 months. So let's give it in your right. So the first card that I get is criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So this is what is the guidance for you at this moment. And I think the masculine is also recognizing, because there was a lot of criticizing that was going on in terms of, you are this, why are you telling this? And the second message that I get is, when it comes to the matter of hearts, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. Okay. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So all the turmoil, like especially these two cards are sitting very close to my heart, because all the turmoil, like I can see this unfold. All the turmoil that has been happening over the last week will soon turn into a blessing, as long as you don't react, or as long as you don't go back to your old ways and just give them space. Because the next card that I get is the transformation. Like I said, the masculine is going through the transformation. It's very important that you give him that space. Your relationship one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Okay, so give them that space, give them the space and time. Okay. And the trust is very important, feminine. The trust is what is crucial at this point. When you've given them the space and time, how they do what they do, what happens in their 3D world, you cannot control how they get everything into alignment, right? Let them do. They know their world better. They know what needs to be done. All you can do is trust in this transformation. Transformation occurs through acceptance. So first of all, you have to accept that the anchoring is done, and now let them do the work, right? Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. All right. So there is this other thing that what I have observed is that the masculine is questioning if they're a narcissist, because they have now learned the word narcissism and everything. So probably someone pointed fingers that they are a narcissist, but what's happening is their authentic self can no longer hide. The threshold or the tipping point for the authentic self to be suppressed is over. All the escapes that they were using, whether it is substance, whether it is ego-based travel, everything has shattered. And probably right now what is left to shatter is the ego that they're carrying because of their career, and everything is clouding them, and they're feeling bad. So Give them time, give them space, give them trust, let them know you're there, let them keep them in your prayers. That's more important. This is what, be aware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are the qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. So if the masculine tends to not listen to you, probably you are also not listening to him. So how do you come to this common ground of, you will finish telling each other's statements and then you will listen to each other? Probably, that's something that you need to work on the communication, and work on how you will show up for them, right? Wait, I just told this, wait, don't rush into it. Allow nature to take its course. Like I said, right, they have been the anchoring is complete, so give them space and time, trust in them, trust in how far they've come, and wait for them to make progress. It is important right now to take a step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing your focus on one another, now is the time to give yourself. So yes, like how the masculine has to go back and reflect on what's really happening in their circle, because if they try to impose their opinions on you, because they're still not made sense of everything that's happening in their karmic life. So like how they have gone back to reflect on the commitment that was formed, you also have to sit alone and think, how is that this is all transforming. Embrace. Through each other you find the missing pieces. I feel that this union is very crucial, because you both will heal together, you both will require to be in each other's presence and work on each other. So I think this union is meant to happen. This union is not just meant to happen for each other, but for everyone involved, because the way you both heal and the way you both grow is going to give others the work in terms of how you live in a committed union. Okay, I get the soulmate card. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit, so I think this union is okay. See, there's this also, the union has already happened in the 5D. Believe this and they will manifest physically. So it is all the matter of time in terms of how it is going to play out. It is not something that happens overnight, so just give it time. Believe and give it time. The bottom of the card is a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Let me pick up a few more cards. Let's see what are the other cards that want to come out. Gratitude. Okay, give thanks for blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your hearts truly desires. Okay, so if the masculine is still on this journey of recognizing and becoming, it's important that you give them that space and time and thank them for what's to unfold. Time. You're trying too hard. Give it time. Healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. I have one guidance or a tip for all the feminines who are on this journey. So now that, like, what do you do when you're alone now, right? How do you manifest, or how do you build what needs to be the outcome in your union? So however long you've been on this journey, right? Because I know some people who have been for 2 decades. I know some people who are going towards 3 decades. I know people who are working towards being in separation for at least 4 years, 7 years, 10 years. So this union is very crucial for them. So, and it's also impossible for you to have hope or faith in terms of how this is going to span out. So if you ask me how I would want to spend this time, the best thing for feminines to do at this time is, okay, I'll give you a time frame, right? Let us say on the eclipse itself, the declaration of the heart that this is the truth, I am accepting this, was done by the masculine. So if lunar was the emotions which was disclosed, the solar is the identity which is also going to align with what the heart chose during the lunar eclipse. So when this solar eclipse, which is going to happen on the 22nd of September, if they're going to align and decide in their 3D reality, the ID, the identity of what they're carrying, the ego self decides that this is the feminine that I am surrendering to. If that declaration is happening, which is why you're giving the time for them right now, which is why you're deciding that, you're going to give them space and time, so that, like, obviously the feminine has this need of, okay, you've decided, when are you going to put it in action, when are we going to do this, when are we going to do that? Give them time and space, right, for it to happen. So what I would do, instead of waiting for this to happen, imagine 2 years ago we were talking about waiting for this day when the masculine contacts us. The contact is over. It is taken 2 years for the contact to happen, right? Now that the contact is over, if in order to manifest the life that you're envisioning, how does the healing look like? What kind of conversations you want to have? What is his mother wounds and father wounds? What is your mother wounds and father wounds? How do you respectfully communicate him with him? How do you draw your boundaries? At the same time, self-respect for both of you is important. What needs to be done? How do you engage with him? How do you draw boundaries to say these are karmics you will not allow, these are the karmics you will allow? And obviously when you suddenly say all this is not allowed, he will start questioning, why are you asking this? So you are expecting me to suddenly grow up. You're expecting what the karmics wants to settle me down or push me into this commitment and everything. I'm not there, right? So don't scare him off. Don't scare him by giving all your requirements at one space. Healing happens when probably when he says something that hurts your ego, you are going to take a step back. How do you communicate to him, now is the time for you to go heal yourself and come back, and we'll have that conversation later? So all this you need to prepare for feminine, because you are driven by emotions. He cannot understand the emotional depth at which something hurts you. It's important that you communicate to him that this is the amount, this is how I take space, or this is how I'm going to respond. Educating him, because he's willing to learn, he is going to be wanting to put that effort, right? So how do we make sure that that happens? Now is the trailer that has happened, wherein when you have tried to communicate, there were some triggers from the past that has come out. Probably your karmic showed up and you were not willing to contribute in that karmic story. At the same time, you did not feel safe to see that, are you going into the karmic entanglement again, right? So my advice to the feminines is, envision what should the future of healing look like when you both come into the union. I would not say union is the end goal. It is just the start. How you heal from there. How you make him feel safe, so that, let me give you an example. A guy, for the longest time, he's been playing the script that was given to him, which is, I love my parents, right? I love my parents, my mom is great, or my dad is great, he's been the golden child, and suddenly he has decided he wants to choose his authenticity. Do you think on the day one he'll come and tell you, my mom did all this with me? Because he's still not recognized. It is only when you start living together, when you start working on each other, that you'll recognize he does not want to hit children, or the reason why he feels like children should not be hit is because he's been hit a lot. Maybe his father hit him a lot, or maybe his mother hit him a lot. So how do you give him that psychological safety to say, you're safe with me? There must be a reason why he chose a substance. Yes, he can heal when he knows that he can live without substances, when he will let go. So there will be a lot of oscillation that is going on. So you're mothering yourself, you're mothering him, you're mothering the one who is emotional, is the one who understands the depth at which the harm is caused. So if in case he needs to bring his emotions out, he needs to feel the trust that you're not going to abandon him. Coming to this position that I am going to choose you, or I'm going to choose my authentic self, has been a long journey. Now what he fears is abandonment. But does not mean that you become a self-sacrificing lamb without knowing what your needs are. No, you also have wounds. You also need to communicate in terms of, what is the engagement model that you'll have, what is the frequency that you will talk to. So do you understand the depth at which this needs to go into? So hence my advice is, instead of worrying about what's happening in his world, start thinking in terms of what would you do if he comes, let's say in a year's time, and say, baby, today onwards we are going to work on each other, today our union starts. It's not going to be hunky-dory from day one. You have to get used to him, he has to get used to you. There's going to be a lot of initial phase of honeymoon period. Despite the honeymoon period, how do you not let go of the past grievances? How do you build trust? Right? You also have to make time in order to build that relationship. He also has to make time to build that relationship. Okay, give it time. This would be my message for today, and hence with that I will let you be. Take care.